Hello, it's me. Hi! I've been wanting to do a video that's long overdue, and this is about my photography and my journey from homelessness to homesteading, which I'm going to share with you here, and the story of how all of these came about. And I think this will also, I don't have a website for my photos. I mean, they are on these fine art websites, but they charge way too much money. So please, if you have found my stuff there, just contact me directly and we'll find something that helps everybody way better. But here I am going through some of the greeting cards I made with my photos. Sorry about the flash. That's kind of ruining it, but yeah. So Phrodiedhere is a hashtag that came about when I was in the hospital in February, Oak Hill Hospital, March 2015. My friend at the time, here I was in the hospital, nothing to do. And I don't, watch TV or eat GMO food or whatever, but I did have a whole bunch of really nice photos. Not all of these you see here, but a few. I always wanted to take photo. I mean, I just always was a shutterbug from the first time I touched a camera and thought about, I always wanted to be a photographer. It was always like my dream to travel the world and photograph and video everything and put it together. Basically like Koyaanisqatsi, Francis Ford Coppola. And yes, I intend on creating my own music compositions to go with it as well. But okay, so rewind a little. So my whole life, I, brought up very traditional and programmed and do things this way. And so I thought my dream of a photographer would never gel. Well, because why? I'm poor. I can't afford a nice camera. I can't afford training or art school or blah, blah, blah. All of these excuses that keep us from doing what we love to do. Well, in the hospital, my friend told me, use Instagram. Get on Instagram. You'll thank me for it later. Okay, well, I have better things to do than look at booty models, right? Well, he's like, just get on there, you'll thank me later. So I checked it out and I realized, wow, not everybody is a booty model. There's actual real photographers and, really cool stuff going on. I didn't know what a hashtag was at the time, of course. I just thought, wow, now I have a place to upload, my favorite pictures or things I've taken throughout all the years. And keep in mind, that was also after my 30,000 photos were deleted on Facebook when I was erased, and 1,200 videos, YouTube, being erased everywhere. So obviously I wasn't too keen on social media. But again, I was in the hospital dying and nothing I could do. Could hardly talk, couldn't walk. But I did have a cell phone with a camera. So, for example, let's see, photos like this, or I don't know, there was a dandelion in here a while back. That was from my old garden. Here we go. Photos like this were out in the yard where I was being taken care of, helped. So that's what I did. I just played with my cell phone and camera and just took photos. Again, I never thought that I could ever be a real photographer because, I'm just some poor girl with a cell phone and can't afford equipment, training, etc. And yeah. So after getting on Instagram and finding out that there's real photographers and real people and real lives, and I finally had a showcase for some of my stuff, I started getting attention. Like, whoa, how'd you do that? What a great photographer. And like using all of these photography terms or art terms and, you know, things I really don't even know what they mean. I'm like, yo, thanks. Okay, whatever. God, sorry about that flash. There we go. Maybe if I hold them like that, it'll be better. So I could show you. So anyways, I did that, and then a little bit later found out what a hashtag was. My hashtag, Phrodiedhere, Phro, died here, came about because, well, those photos, in fact, let me find the one. It's up right here, the one. That was right literally the day before I ended up in the hospital, my brain blowing up, neuroinvasive West Nile viral encephalitis, lost my ability to talk and walk, and I had nobody to take care of me. So obviously oh, there's that photo again. I ended up homeless. And of course, being homeless, you can't even get food stamps or any help because why? Oh, you have no address, right? No address. You can't get an address. So I was basically effectively pushed out of society. And I just had this camera, cell phone. So Phrodiedhere, Phros is short for Aphrodite, Aphrodite. And initially it was just kind of a joke because that's, I mean, not really a joke, but that's where I died. I went in the hospital. I came out with this whole new life that I had to try to figure out, right? And so it was kind of more of a rebellion, actually. I was pissed that my friends expected me to keep being tortured like this and keep trying to live and struggle and, you know, make it in a place with zero income, zero family, zero help, and hardly able to complete a coherent sentence and walk. Oh, alone. Yeah. So, like, fuck you. You know, I died here. Fro died here. So that's kind of where it came from. When I got out of the hospital and found myself searching for that beauty and what I was longing for that was always in the back of my mind, the hashtag just kind of, I just kept using it. Didn't even know anything about hashtags, didn't know that anything. I still didn't even really know I was a photographer. Then I ended up, let's see, in Washington, July, then February 2016 here, back in the hospital, same issues, blood out of my ears, legs not working, blah, 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 and here we go again. So I went to Tahoe to heal March, left in April, and still, even though I knew my heart was telling me I had to go north, I clearly was scared to death. I mean, I knew I had to be in Washington. I knew I had to be in the mountains in the forest here. But how am I going to get there? No income, nobody who cares. No, I mean, what do you do? Well, you keep doing, I guess. And so that's what I did. I kept finding solace in these beautiful places where I would be happy to die. Fro died here. And initially, I was looking for that place that I could just go die. Can frickin' leave me alone, right? Yeah, so after I got out of the hospital and then I'm walking and talking again around, well, March I was doing all right, but I was still pretty holed up. I mean, I was definitely starting to walk again. Oh, here's some postcards I made too. They're silk, full color, glossy. You can hang them, frameable photos too, 5x7. And yeah, so it was some time after Tahoe and headed back up the coast, and then I made it to Whidbey Island, got a part-time job in a deli, and when people started to see my photos, they were like, Christie, what the fuck? And, you know, I never really knew what anyone was talking about, because to me, I'm just snapping photos on a cell phone. I didn't think, I mean, yeah, they're pretty photos. I mean, obviously, I know that, but are they photo quality, you know, whatever, photographer, expert, get paid to do? Well, hell if I know, but what do I know about life, right? So, yeah, here's another one in the yard. I mean, I literally couldn't walk, so I just started taking photos of whatever was in the grass and stuff around me, and then up the coast. And by the way, I know where I was for every single one of these photos, which I intend on turning into a coffee table book and sharing the thoughts and fears and loves and hopes and dreams behind every one of these photos. And that's where Zen, Phro, Zen Moments came from. That's the name. It's on Facebook. And eventually, when I have a little extra money, maybe do another website that I can lose later. But anyways, so basically, when I got up to Whidbey Island and, healed again and started gaining the confidence, like, damn, if I could make my way coast to coast, no income, and all the blah, blah, blah stuff we already discussed. Well, shit, I can do anything. So that's when Kim came along. And Kim saw my work and she's like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. That's like some of the best I've ever seen. And why aren't you selling this? It's like, I'm homeless. I can't afford to print my own photos. Like, duh. And she's just like, well, what about greeting cards or things like that? And, she had offered to sell my work on her walls. Of course, that got cut short. Not because of her or me or anything. It's just the gang stalkers forced me to leave my home again right when I started to get settled. Literally right after I had these printed and made up. And yeah, I bought all the supplies to be able to make them. But, she was trying to explain it to me. And I'm thinking, well, what do you mean? How? So she shows me a card and a glue and a photo and photos that I don't think were nearly as entertaining as mine, and neither did she, but I'm like, wow, really? It's that easy? So my next paycheck, I went out and bought everything. I would, the covers, printed the photos, the cards, the envelopes. A lot of them have labels, but not all. I'm a little behind on that. There we go. I just handwritten labels on the back. And that's pretty much where it came about. Phrodiedhere, it was my journey into, from homelessness to homesteading and finding out I actually really am a real life photographer. So yeah, there's many more. In fact, I'd show you more, but I just found out my albums with my photos in there that make it easy to share just disappeared. I guess somebody needed it more than I do, because, it's always cool to steal from homeless people. By the way, this photo was right when I got out of the hospital in Florida. My friend was driving me to Crystal River, and I saw that thistle on the side of the road, and I really wanted a thistle because they're good medicine. So I asked if he would pull over and went to go talk with the thistle and figure out how I can take some of its medicine safely. And then the butterfly came and danced for me. So this was up at Hurricane Ridge. That's in the Olympics last year. I guess there's two of them. This one, God, there, without the glare. Here we go. This, I was leaving Mount Shasta in a moving truck. I had already been brought there under false pretenses, part of the gang stalking crowd. From Florida to there, I spent every penny on my RV that I sold, which was all I had left, just to make it across the country with my U-Haul towing my car. And I had to leave up to Washington, which was it's where I wanted to be anyways. It was just like, damn, I just unloaded a truck and now I need to go load another one and find a home. And so I was driving, and the sunset through the windshield was just so breathtaking. I ended up having to pull over to take a couple photos. And I just love that one. Working through the haze, Mount Rainier, Seattle. So anyways, I have all these as cards. I told you I also have postcards. You saw a couple there, but let me see what I can show you in here. And I don't know if you do take part. Oh, look, this one's a postcard too. Full color, frameable, 5x7. Like, seriously, top of the line postcards. They're not the postcards you see in stores. These are frameable. And I spent top dollar. Like, they cost me $1 a piece. So I'm selling them for $2. Oh, that one's a postcard. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, Big Sur. That's a postcard, but yeah, they're crazy photo quality, glossy. Yeah, so I just wanted to put this out there, and I know people like to find a way to support local artists and things like that, and get away from corporations. And if you are, if you send cards and do all that stuff, which there's always a reason, right? Sometimes the reason is no reason, just because you're thinking of somebody. And I do have a lot more. Again, I can't show you because I just found out some of my stuff was stolen, and then I'm waiting for a few things in the mail so I can make some more, but that's all I have to share with you today. This one's also a postcard. Let's see if there's any more I can take out easily without making a mess with the phone. But, oh, yeah, the Seattle one. You saw that one, darn it. So I do want to let you know, I don't have a website for this stuff yet that goes directly to me. I am on those other artist websites and stuff, but please don't purchase from there. It's just my first time, like people, let's see, they made $330 off of me, and I got 20 of it 2 months later. So, yeah, it's much better for people, when they contact me and say, hey, I like this photo, what could I do, or how much, or blah, blah. I just send them the file that they can print any size they want. And then they give me a couple bucks and they can print whatever they want, and everybody saves money and makes money. And yeah, so if you are interested in supporting my homelessness to homesteading adventures and helping me make that coffee table book a reality, by the way, and it'll be focused just on from homelessness to homesteading, Phrodiedhere, the hashtag, and everything that has transpired in that time. I forget where I was going. I was going to say something else, and I totally forgot. But if you do, contact me, either Christie, Aphrodite, @gmail.com. But I've also been hearing that maybe I don't get all my emails there. So I guess keep trying. You could also find me the same name, Christie Aphrodite, on Instagram, Christie Aphrodite on LinkedIn, Christie Aphrodite on Twitter, Christie Aphrodite on Facebook, Christie Aphrodite on Minds. So literally, that's me everywhere. And if that email doesn't work, then try me on Facebook, or I wish YouTube had messages, private messages like they used to, but we will find a way. Oh, I'm also Christie Aphrodite on Skype. So, the normal price for photos, by the way, this was my last sunset before I made it here. And this is, wow, the colors, oh my God. Let's see if you could, dang, that damn flash and lantern. It's just, whatever, I'm doing my best. But I did want to share the story. Who knew I'd wake up one day and find out I was a real life photographer, and it only took a frickin' brain infection to do it. So right now I'm selling them for $5 a piece. Or 5 for $20, and I've seen them go for as much as 8 or more in stores, so I think that's very fair, especially considering what I've paid to get it done, what I've done, and my work. So yeah, they're $5 each or 5 for $20. The postcards are $2 each. And if you have any bulk orders, let me know and we'll see what we can do to work it out. Or even if you have a shop or a place where you want to sell them, I do have a couple stands. Of course, these would work better, if you were local, right? However, I could always buy another stand and ship it to you. So yeah, you can actually help real homeless people in a tangible way and get them off the streets by supporting their work instead of some big corporation. We've had enough of Hallmark. So yay, thank you again. Thank you, Louie, for telling me you'll thank me later. Get on Instagram now. When I was dying, well, you're right, I'm thanking you. And thank you, Kim, for helping me do this and this literally got me here to where I am. And in fact, I almost forgot, I got to tell you the story. Okay, so where is that picture? This is Glass Beach, by the way, Fort Bragg. Okay, so the picture I told you I took right before I ended up in the hospital in Florida. God, it was right here. Maybe I put it away. Well, anyways, that is the photo that actually got me here to my home. And how did that happen? A beautiful 3-year-old girl, a 16-year-old girl, and their family were walking on the streets where I was working on my wood projects and Mod Podging them. By the way, those are my photos as well. I just framed them and cut the wood and did the edges and stained them and put on little hangy upper thingies. So anyways, so I have those too. But okay, so that photo, which that one, the 3-year-old grabbed the photo and the 16-year-old was like, oh my God, those are beautiful. Are you selling these? How much? So she bought 5 cards, and they told me about a place that might like my skills and have space for me. And that's how all that happened. So I got the phone number and called the next day. And that's when I got the tent. And here it all begins. I finally have a safe place to sleep. And that community and that beautiful place I've always dreamed of. I mean, think about it. Look at these photos. Isn't that what I was always chasing? Ha! And now I live here. Isn't that crazy? That is where I live. In fact, on this one, let me zoom in without the flash. If you see that tiny little speck there, that's my tent that I am currently in. Here's my bedroom, by the way. I don't usually do videos from the bedroom, but it's just cold out there, and I figured, why not? Okay, thank you for listening, and yeah, thank you for making all of this a reality. Bye.